Hi, everybody.
Hey everyone!
Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today.
Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. We just had a little catastrophe almost as we were about to go live. So that's why we're laughing here. Uh,
I may be Mr. O, but Mr. Sunny is like, oh, I guess I don't want to be here, and scampers away, knocking things over. So,
anyway, welcome to the show.
welcome.
We're not eating any treats tonight. We're kind of treated out. It's been a crazy day of workplace parties and different things going on. So,
I've been having a different holiday event at work or related every day this week. We had a
hey,
citywide event. We had our own library event. We had a department event.
Masonic Elite, were you doing a countdown? That's awesome.
I just saw that. Okay, cool.
That's very, very cool. Okay, well, you guys are the only two here right now, it seems like, so that's good start. But did we want to make some announcements? We have a few things happening soon.
Okay, well, we're going to have
Tomorrow,
tomorrow, Friday. Yes, of course. Tomorrow will be my next installment of the Emotional Exchanges, Oberon's Outlook on Emotional Exchanges, which is a weekly forecast for the zodiac signs as divided by their element. And tomorrow I'm going to start something new with that. So it's going to be kind of cool. So you should tune in if you're at all interested in things about any of your relationships or about the emotional ups and downs of the next week or so. We started on Friday because Friday is the day ruled by Venus, so therefore it seems to be emotionally appropriate to do that. I'll give you just a little clue. It involves yet another Egyptian styled deck that I will be using in the readings for those emotional exchanges. So that's going to be a YouTube video which will premiere around 9 a.m.
yep,
And do you have an announcement?
maybe.
Well, in
My
addition to
things are a
that,
little behind. You know, I've been doing a lot of stuff. Also, now I have the Christmas cards that are running very late. I have to get those in the mail. I think the people in Phoenix, Arizona from my family will not be getting it in time at this point, but you know, I tried. I had to make a new Christmas poem for people who are uh, going to our Twitter and Facebook pages. I've been publishing poems for my Christmas and Yule holiday greeting collection. I've been doing poems for over 20 years, two a year, one for the people that celebrate Yule and one for my family and friends that celebrate Christmas. So I've made a new one for this year, and that will debut. It's not going to be on Christmas Day. That'll probably be Sunday. And tomorrow night, the day before Yule, I'm going to post one of my oldest poems for Yule that actually I feel got the whole thing started, Mr. O. And it was
okay.
a poem that I published in a newsletter we used to put out called Crow's Cause. And so I think you know the poem I'm speaking of.
I don't
And
remember it word
it's
for word, but
actually
it's a
from
really,
1997.
yeah, so it's over
And
20 years
it
old.
was the month after my Aunt Mary passed away, my favorite aunt. And it was a very traumatic time for me. And somehow I pulled this out. And from that point forward, I decided I was going to try to uplift myself and everybody by sending the people that I love poems every year. So now that my audience has expanded to Facebook and Twitter, I am publishing them there.
That's a nice thought, Masonic. I don't know. Maybe Banshee would agree to that.
You know, somebody at work told me that I'm not going to mention names. Somebody at work told me that I should be a Hallmark greeting card writer. So maybe there's a future
Anyways,
there in retirement.
I posted our schedule. Our next live stream, of course, is on Sunday as usual from 2 to 4. And Sunday is considered Yule itself, the 22nd this year. It's an astrological kind of thing. So we are most likely hoping that we will have fine tuned our special episode live stream for Yule and Christmas time. And there'll be a couple of little things in there, but mostly just a simple candle lighting in commemoration and maybe a reading of one of those poems.
Maybe my most recent poems will be read. And so the Yule poem, the brand new one for Yule, will debut on the winter solstice Saturday. So we will post that to Facebook and Twitter, and there will be a reading on our live stream Sunday, I believe. And maybe who knows what else. Also, one more thing. So probably the live stream the Thursday or the Sunday, it might be the Sunday, depending on our audience, how many people we have, after Christmas, we will be doing readings for everybody for an outlook for 2020. We're going to spend the live stream mostly looking at the year ahead for everybody who joins us, and so we can give you kind of an outlook for your year.
Right, and then sometime later in the new year, we actually are starting a new monthly reading.
Hey,
Hi,
Smiling.
Soul.
Glad you joined us. We've just been going through announcements because we had a few.
Very good. Yes, and we opened with a catastrophe.
Catastrophe that was off camera.
Just before we went live, a cat mangled something and things fell over and oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Well, they're adorable anyway.
Well, I'm going to move this out of the way now, my happy decorations.
The kitty logo was actually done by our granddaughter. She's going to be 14
Yeah, she's going to be
February.
14. She is amazingly talented.
She's a very good artist.
I have one of her sketchbooks behind me here. I don't want to do it without her permission and show this stuff, but let me tell you something. She's amazing. And she can draw, she can do freehand. She does a lot of digital art now. She has kind of a manga style, or maybe even, what is it called? Chuba or Chiba? I'm not sure. But something like that. And it's a unique style all her own. And we loved it. We told her to come up. She loves cats. That's one thing. No surprise there, huh? Everybody around us here loves cats.
Gee, that was almost on cue. These cats are getting really good at it.
And I've got you on the list, Smiling. There's only 3 people right now. So, hey, we could have some fun today. You know what? Maybe this is a day to do your community, whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, we could possibly
We could
try
possibly do that.
that. Tarot together.
Tarot together. I keep forgetting the name for some reason, and that's because we didn't do it. Oh, I do have one more little anecdotal thing to say. This week I was talking about how we were having our office parties and whatnot. Well, in my workplace, we had a white elephant gift exchange. Are you guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the white elephant gift exchange, but often you're trying to get rid of goofy stuff or things that maybe nobody could possibly use. They're kind of gag gifts, and you wrap them up and they're kind of drawn at random. People take packages. There's a chance to steal people's packages and stuff. And then when it's all over, you open them up and we all have a good laugh. And sometimes every year things come back for a return appearance at the White Elephant because people don't want it in their house. Well, this year I got a shirt. And I can't wait to share it with you. I was going to wear it, but it's very cold in Michigan tonight, so I'm not going to wear it. Let's see if I can get it on camera. Telling me how. Oh, yeah, there it is. Can you read it?
Wait. Dear Santa, it wasn't me.
And somehow I thought this fit me perfectly. It's never my fault, really. Never my fault.
Well, alrighty then.
We are ready. I guess we have bantered enough, and this is who we've got tonight. It's a slow night for people. That's okay. That's better for you guys. We can spend a little bit more time chatting and also getting the readings done, maybe a little bit more in depth. So let's see. Who do we got? Sunny is laying on my list. All right.
It's Masonic.
I know it's... yes, it's you, Masonic. You are first. And he is going to give me no room to shuffle or anything. So we're going to have to do a kitty slide. Hey, stop that. All right. Which deck are you using, Mr. O?
I'm going to use Dame Fortune. I normally use it a lot for readings, so it tends to be more often my regular deck. And I see we have our question.
I see. That's a interesting question as a gambling person myself. The one thing I would say is that, when you say or win anything, that could be $2 or whatever, the Mega Millions lowest amount is. But let's see what the cards say. That does sound like a yes/no, does it not, Mr. O?
It does.
All right. Let's start there. I'll be using Caitlin Matthews' Celtic Lenormand today, as well as the Tarot Grand Lux again from Cyril Marchetti. I think I used the Tarot of Dreams last time, but I'll use his Grand Lux tonight. I think I'm going to just stick with one deck tonight, keep it simple.
I did bring a backup deck. We'll see if I use it. It's the Tarot of the Ages, and that was a former regular reading deck of mine. Go ahead and cut.
Well, I have a deck here as well, but I think I'm going to stick with this one tonight. I don't know why. If I don't like the cards I'm pulling, maybe I'll change. And there he goes. You keep encroaching on my space, little man. I'm sure Sonny would say hi if he could. And we're checking. Masonic, if you win, do let us know. Right now it's leaning towards no, and there's some interesting reasons why, I think. Let me see. So don't spend your shirt on the Powerball or Mega Millions. It only takes one ticket to win, they say. And as a matter of fact, I don't always play when the jackpot's on the lower end. When I do play, I only play 1 or 2 numbers. That's it.
The Two of Wands.
We have the Two of Wands, which is a positive card. But then we have the Devil. And so the Devil kind of is about, telling you, don't be tied into this idea. Don't be bonded to the idea that
overly materialistic.
Yeah, and being trapped by this idea of winning the big one. It's possible that Masonic, your luck might come in a different game. A game with smaller jackpots and smaller lotteries. But at least for this week, I can tell you that it doesn't look likely you're going to win anything. What do you think about the Two of Wands, though?
Well, the Two of Wands sort of is, in the sense, a sign of completion in a way. It's sort of like as an end result, the person sort of feels like they have what they need. And so there is the idea, too, that sometimes people who already are fairly secure don't always have that ability to attract or magnetize wealth or prosperity to themselves. But then there's this other aspect that is troubling, which is the Devil. And it could also just say, too, that there sort of is the need to just really focus on the material well-being. And so it's more like it's a pipe dream. It's just not really what your focus needs to be.
Well, I just had an epiphany thanks to Mr. O's interpretation here, Masonic, because basically he was talking about the Two of Batons being kind of like a completion thing, and the Devil, maybe you are attached too much to the results, of the Powerball Mega Millions. You're attached too much to the concept of winning the big one. And maybe that's why it's just not going to come to you at this time. The
odds are really strong.
Well, and that is, like I said, you have to be supremely lucky to be able to crack that. Hey, I'd like to think I could because I am that lucky, but I really don't place a lot of my bets there. Usually, there are statewide jackpots and lotteries, for $1 million or 2 or 3 that are much easier to win, or even something that could be building a jackpot. We have something called the Fantasy 5, which goes up, sometimes up to $800,000, $900,000. So, it's still life-changing amounts of money, and the odds are better. So I just say, gamble smart if you're going to gamble, and don't spend your shirt on it. It doesn't look likely this week.
Right.
I'm going to do the Lenormand.
I sort of feel that way too, but however, the devil is also a card that is sort of at home with Capricornian energies, and Capricorn tells us that business models work and that it's really about being focused and being organized in a business kind of way too. So it may just be that you're the person who's going to be lucky more when you have a career or an employment that sort of takes the best of your abilities and utilizes them.
Yeah, but I get it.
Yes.
You got to work, and who wants to do that?
Well, right.
Oh, gee, again, we have the Snake, which is not a good card to get either, Masonic, and the Child. And it's kind of saying to me that this isn't worthwhile this week. It would be very small at best, and also it just seems like it's deceptive. Like, you're lured into the idea of maybe I could win this week, but it's maybe false.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe there'll just be something that happens that sort of shows you or gives you this idea that you could be lucky, because maybe it's an almost, and I don't understand how these things work, like if you have to have a certain combination of numbers, whatever, but like I get the feeling like you get a false hope. That's what I'm thinking is happening, is that even though you don't seem to be intended to win in this next week or so, something gives you a false hope, and you just have to look at that honestly and rationally and decide whether or not it really means, anything or not, because I think the whole thing about luck with these lottery cards is really rough.
Yasika, hello, welcome to the stream.
Hi there.
I am going to put your name down on the list for a reading if you're interested. We have a very small list tonight, so you came at the right time. So basically,
you are welcome, Masonic.
And I would just say one thing, Masonic. Yeah, it's just not this week. Don't think you're never lucky. I don't know if you had a
Pretty much.
I don't know if you had like maybe a feeling, that you were going to be lucky this week, or you're just going to do it anyway because the jackpot's high. If that's the case, if you really have a feeling, you could play one number. But if you don't have that feeling, I wouldn't play this week. I'd say put it off.
Ask around and see if you know anybody who plays any of these tickets or prizes, and if they feel that a particular store has been lucky for them more often than not. Because I just got a glimmer with what I looked at that maybe there's a better store for you to play it to. I actually believe that does play into the concept of
I've
winning.
had my lucky stores in the past, I will say, but of course I moved away from one of them where I won a lot of times there. But you just have to find your own luck elsewhere. It's not just about the store, it's really about you. And timing is what I found with my luck. And really soon, I think I'm going to be working on it, if not this weekend, during the next week, my next Soul Stories, which is going to be about some of the luck I've had.
Okay, Wada Kid, we can add you to the list.
Can definitely add you to the list.
It's a pretty short list, so we should be able to get to you very soon, I think. So who's next?
Let me go over the list right now, because next is Balkis. So you can get your question ready, Balkis. Then there's Smiling Soul and Yasika, and then Wada Kid.
Okay, so you are welcome. Okay, Balkis has...
Okay. For the rest of December, eh? Okay, it's a little short span of time there, but let's see what's cooking.
Are we going to use your deck?
Yeah, we can use
Alrighty.
up and... Yeah, we can use this deck.
Well, yeah, we only have about 10 days or so left. 10 or 11
let's
days,
see what's going on in the next 10 days for you. I'll let you. So for those joining us for the first time, this is our silly cat Sunny, who joins us for most of our live streams. He goes where he wants to go.
The unofficial mascot
Yeah.
of TFT. We're trying to figure out how we can get him to help us pick a card, you know, like put his paw on the deck or something like that.
He's actually grabbed my card while shuffling. He has. But he hasn't picked a card yet. Not sure we can get him to do that. I got it. Yeah, you might have wanted to go in the other direction or
Whoops.
further down. I'm going to
Okay.
draw 3 cards.
3 cards. Ooh.
Wow. Wow.
There
Okay.
he is again.
There he is again, and we used a different deck this time, right? We didn't use it before. So,
Yeah, it was a different deck.
it's interesting,
Balkus.
Balkus. We have the Ace of Pentacles came up. The 8 of Coins reversed. And the Devil reversed. So, do you want to start with this one?
No, I thought I'd let you.
Okay. Well, to me, Balkus, it seems that the focus is more on money and resources or employment or education than it might be on relationships right now. Even though you seem to be there, your focus should be elsewhere is what it's telling me. And also, but also maybe the idea here is too, because the devil is reversed and the devil is trying to tell me that you're trying to break free for some of these other obligations and whatnot that might be holding you back from establishing a relationship of some sort or getting involved in a relationship or moving a relationship that you're in forward.
Okay, I've had a strange little psychic glimmer here. Now, I don't know if you've ever said this before. Is there somebody who maybe there is a particular spark with right now? Maybe there's not much of a relationship yet, but maybe there's some interest. And I get the feeling like maybe they're a little bit funny about gifts at this time of year. And I don't know if you're the kind of person that gives gifting around this time of year seasonally, you know, Christmas, holidays, etc. But I'm getting the feeling like there's something here about a gift for somebody and whether or not it'll be appreciated or taken in the spirit of the holidays. I get the feeling like maybe it's just going to be a little bit off-putting either one way or the other to you or the other person. Like maybe if they're giving it to you, maybe it doesn't feel right for some reason or it feels off-putting or vice versa. But that's a little bit of what I got. It's a little bit out there, convoluted.
It's time for a Sunny Cam.
Sunny Cam? Oh, because
Yeah.
he's doing the bitey thing
He's
again?
biting my arm right now. He wants a wrestle. He's trying to get my attention in the worst way. Okay, now he says, "What's up?"
We caught you. You were caught in the act,
Yes,
Sunny.
he's still stuck to my shirt here, but he was literally biting my arm and wrestling with me. It's very playful. He just wants attention. And he thinks, you know, since we're here with you, that we are suddenly his captive audience. Okay, so basically what I would say to this is, I was wondering about the 8 of Coins reversed, and I was thinking here that, you know, maybe too what this is saying, if you want something to happen or develop in the next couple of weeks, Balkus, you're going to have to, you know, take some initiative here. It shows you as kind of almost like being lackadaisical about it or waiting for something to happen instead of actually maybe being the initiator in some way. So I think you have to kind of create some opportunities.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe that's a little bit of what it's saying to me is that maybe you can possibly open a door with somebody by a gift, but you have to make sure this gift is not taken in the wrong context necessarily. You know, it has to be appropriate for the time of year and or for beginning as a friendship maybe first, something like that. That's just sort of what I'm feeling there too. So you just have to be a little careful if that is what's going on. I get the feeling it is though, maybe. So Banshee has also drawn a couple of Lenormands.
Well, I have some good news. I drew the stork and I drew the star. And to me, this does give me some hope that, at least by the end of this period, maybe by the end of December or going into the new year, you're going to have a feeling, you're going to have a reason to feel more confident about things in, your love life. There's going to be some changes happening. Maybe there's going to be some trip that you're planning or that you're going to take where you could possibly meet someone new. It just seems like there's going to be some change afoot. But just looking at the other cards and where the emphasis was, I'm getting the feeling it may not happen in those 2 weeks, but not that long after. If anything, you might get a glimmer of something happening by the end of the 2-week period.
Yeah, the stork tells me something new is on the horizon. I can't really say when either, so I'm just going to go with Banshee's feeling here too, that it does feel like it's more new than not. It may not be exactly around the end of December. And this was a star, right?
Yes.
It just seems to me like something will kind of happen that for you is both a little bit unusual, but also a little bit inspiring. And I get the feeling too that it's going to work out. I mean, I don't know if it's really a relationship per se, but I think it's just going to be a happy time for sure.
Yep, and that's what we have for you, Balkus.
Okay, so we hope that helped. You'll have to let us know.
And I'm not making any promises here, everybody,
Right. It's a snapshot in time.
But if the audience stays small tonight, we might be able to do some other readings for people again later if they have additional questions. But we got to keep the list open
You're
for
welcome.
now for new people who might, come on board. Okay, so we're up to Smiling Soul, and then Jessica and What a Kid will be after that. So Smiling Soul, what do you have for us today?
Well, we have Yesava too. Oh,
You're welcome, Balkus. Your cards?
Sure. Start warming them up. A little bit of a headache today.
Hey, I got good news, everybody. I just got this new thing. It's called, The Cards of Time. And I bought this because I thought it might help with time and timing in readings. But I think it's also its own system of reading. I'm going to have to read up on this and study it. But I think I could use it in conjunction with some of our tarot readings to give us a better idea of time. But also while he's shuffling, I'm going to say that while I'm off in this period between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to be working on some projects. And one of them is we're working on our own system of telling time with the tarot. And it's probably going to be based on some existing systems out there.
Yes, you are.
But we're going to make sure it works for us. Oh, yeah, Smiling Soul. Sorry if you missed that. You are up right now. So, give us your question. And we'll give Smiling Soul a minute.
Remind people that we do a daily tarot of the day on our Facebook and Twitter pages.
It's getting retweeted like crazy lately. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, so if you just need a little bit of advice for the day, you should check out our Twitter or our Facebook, and we will post that nightly, and it's for the next day ahead.
Thank you, Jessica. We really appreciate that.
Aw, what makes us adorable? Tell us. Tell me.
The fact that, well, I don't even know if you know this because I don't know how long you've been with us, Jessica, but we have just had in November, our 38th wedding anniversary.
38.
38, and we have been a couple for 43 years. Are these back.
Right. There was a little time off for bad behavior here and there, but not very much.
Not very much.
No. So,
So we pretty much have been together for 43 years.
yeah, I guess so. 42 for sure.
Yeah. All right, we'll do it,
42.
Smiling.
Well, we try. Thank you.
We try. We do try.
Okay, so we're doing the general. It's nice to hear that. Thank you, Jessica.
So let's see what's going on with Smiling Soul. Oh, okay. He's got some reversals here. Oh, okay. Well, one is the, if you got it, okay, what is that one? The Chariot reversed. It seems as though maybe you feel like you've been moving backwards instead of forward in some way. You know, it's like maybe you take a few one or two steps forward and then it's like 3 steps back. You're not feeling you're making the progress, you know, that you should be.
Definitely some sort of limitations happening. There's a situation with the drive, you know, the get up and go. It's just not quite there.
And then you got Smiling Soul. The Ten of Swords.
Well, this
reversed.
one is better. This one is better because it does seem like you're getting over something really negative that happened, or that you're finding out that those who do seek to do harm don't really have a toehold or a fingerhold there. You're kind of hard for them to get to. So that's a good thing to know. Or that in general, you know, there is somebody that has your back, something that has your back.
Right. You know, I've always said there are a few cards I say this for, and this is one of them, that if you're going to get the Ten of Swords, you want to get it reversed and not upright, because there's a healing process going on here. You know, it seems as though you are on the mend in some ways, or you will be. Like, for example, if this is even, instead of being about a situation of a stab in the back or some kind of pain caused that way, it could also be in matters of health, you know, that you are on the mend from something physically, maybe some new treatment or even some surgical procedure that might help you could be found out about.
Sigils? That's awesome.
Oh,
I totally approve.
He totally is into sigils.
I love sigils.
You know, you should get him to DM you sometime about that. But anyway, you also have, and this is interesting, Smiling Soul, to me, you have the Four of Swords upright. And so what it's saying to me is, actually, even though things aren't moving the way you want them to right now, this is kind of a time to hold back a little bit and take care of yourself a little bit.
Back.
This is like kind of a me time moment, you know, where you should be just taking some rest and recuperation and trying to get your strength together, you know, for the months ahead.
It could be saying that you may not have a choice in the matter, too, that maybe something is just going to kind of pull you out a little bit. And I don't see this as being another hospitalization necessarily, but I just sort of feel like this is clearly saying you need a break, another kind of break of some sort. Mm-hmm. And to put it all together, there's just the sense that you've gone through a little bit here, and you have to really rest up and take care of yourself. And in general, it's okay just not to be that motivated right now. Winter. Very much have SAD from time to time during this time.
You know, winter is kind of hibernation mode for us here in Michigan. You know, a lot of people, of course, they like the winter sports. Me,
that's Saturday, isn't it?
I like to watch them from indoors.
Is that an outpatient procedure? Are you just going in for it and then you're being discharged? Or are they keeping you overnight or anything?
Well, that's interesting, Smiling Soul, because, in a way, see, I look at some of the swords cards that can be indicative of either a surgical procedure or some kind of medical procedure. You know, think about the cutting implement, you know, that is the swords. That's also true with some of the Lenormand cards that can indicate that, too. So let's do a Lenormand for you and see where things are headed.
Well, very good luck on the procedure. You know, definitely we will mention, not that specifically, but just that we want everybody to keep you in their thoughts on Sunday.
Wow, that's big. Sometimes there are these kind, you know, depending on the procedure, they have to tell you these things, even if the risk is small, because, you know, of
they
litigation
just have to cover their butt.
and things like that. Yeah.
Don't worry about that too much.
Well, I don't see anything really there, but let me see what I get here. And Smiling Soul, I've got some good news for you here in the Lenormand. The first card I pulled for you was the Sun, which of course I know you've been hearing me long enough talk about the Lenormand. The Sun is a great card, and it's coupled with the Bear. And the Bear is a card of empowerment and strength and courage, and it's coupled with the energy of the Sun, which is vitality, health, and success. Good things, especially for you who's undergoing a procedure. So I think things are going to work out okay for you, and hopefully, maybe something will come out of this that will actually improve your health.
Well, the procedure is obviously meant to help you, so I get the feeling like it's going to be successful. And to me, the Bear is more specifically about woman power.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
In
really
some
an
ways.
awesome sign. You just really need to listen to your medical people and do what they tell you to do. I think these are really good signs for you. And I feel like the other cards, they might feel a little bit, negative, but in a way they're not. They're really just saying you really need to take a rest right now. And we're going to be rooting for you. So really,
Yeah.
don't worry. We don't want you to worry at this time.
No, I don't really see anything here to uber worry about. Especially since the Ten of Swords.
Overcoming the evil forces is
Yes.
the specific meaning of that one.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. So good luck with that. And let's see, what do we have for... Okay, Jessica, you are next. So if you want to type out your question or if you just want a general reading, let us know. And then What a Kid is after Jessica.
And then we can start over if anybody's here.
Well, we could maybe do our tarot together exercise with everybody.
Yeah, if anybody stays and
Yes.
we don't get new readings, we will try to do another installment of tarot together. And this is something that I came up with that allows us to let you help us do the
Yes.
reading.
You actually
And it's really cool.
help us, and it's
really
a lot
cool.
of fun. And we will maybe
general,
try that
okay.
if we have a small group tonight.
Okay, Jessica, we're going to do a general for you. I guess you're going to do your
Yeah,
cards.
I'm going to do my cards for
Very
this
good.
one. And let's see what we get for Jessica. Our cat has left, and I feel like I have all this space now. It's wonderful. We do have two other cats. They just... Oh, did you shuffle? You did not.
No, I didn't.
By all means, shuffle them up. So I hope everybody's having a good time so far with the holidays coming, and everything's going well. It's been crazy around here. That's all I can say. And of course we have cats, so we don't get into decorating too much anymore. And our child is no longer a child, and our granddaughter is getting pretty big at 13, 14. Christmas is not quite the same as it used to be at that age.
Yeah, and I miss that a little bit,
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, my.
Again? Well, this is interesting. Okay.
Masonic, if you're hanging out still, once again, for Jessica, we
like
have
the
pulled
third time?
the devil.
And we're using different
Reversed.
decks. This one's reversed, which is
Thank you,
much
Marcia.
better, Jessica. And we'll get to that. I want to show all the cards first in this case. And then we have
Oh, look at.
the Eight of Swords upright. Oh, Sassy's coming, our other cat.
Well, they're kind of
Come
got
on.
tangled up in the
Oh.
tablecloth down there.
Good girl.
There you go.
There she is. Let's get a sassy cam. There's one of our other cats. And the last card I'm going to throw is the Six of Swords reversed. Well, I'm telling you, Jessica, right now, you're feeling like really, I don't know, antsy or wanting some change or something to happen. You are ready for something to happen. You want to break out, from things that maybe have held you back in some way, or you just want a release and freedom. And right now I'm not seeing it happening yet because I've got the Eight of Swords upright. And the Eight of Swords upright is kind of an indication of somebody who is kind of holding themselves back in some way. Maybe you are afraid to do what you need to do to move forward or to break free and to break out. And right now you're like confused or not certain which direction or way you want to go. And that's coupled with the Six of Swords reversed. The Six of Swords reversed is a card of immobility in a way. Nothing happening right now. You're kind of stuck.
Okay, go ahead and put Eleni on the list.
Oh, hey,
and,
Eleni.
And hi. And I'm wondering if there's a situation with a person. Maybe it's a relationship, but maybe it's just a person that is in your periphery. So they're a friendship of different sorts. But I get the feeling like they're this person that's sort of holding you back in a way. If it's not you yourself, and they're holding you back though because they're just a bad person for you. Like maybe they lead you to areas you don't need to go. They tempt you to do things. That's the devil person there. So I'm thinking it's maybe a person who's doing that. It's not necessarily yourself. It could be maybe, but I'm sort of seeing this happening. This is more coming as a psychic glimmer, and that's what you're going to need to deal with a little bit, I think, because that's why you're not advancing there at this point. Is there's a temptation of some sort, and it's a friendship or situation that you need to maybe have a little more distance from. Do you think I'm getting that there? Do you know who or what that might be?
I'm going to move my
Like
cat.
I said, I feel more than her that it's somebody outside of yourself, a person.
I'm going to draw a couple Lenormand, see if we get a little more insight on this for you, Jessica.
I can't believe that they're doing this.
What, the cats?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we've got two. I was going to get up and move that chair out more in case they want to get down that way. I will do that at some point.
Okay, thank you for the feedback. I needed to know that because I sort of feel that this is, I won't say this is like the worst relationship ever, but there's something that compromises some of your integrity in a way, or compromises what you would really rather be doing. So you want to try to minimize the influence of that. But I also feel like there are certain things that hold you in place there. So I'm actually wondering if this could be more of an actual blood relative, a person who has a little bit more influence than just any friend would have, because they're related to you somehow.
Well, either way, whatever the case may be, I drew with the Lenormand. The first card I drew was the Path card. And the second card I drew was the Gentleman card. Now, in this day and age, we don't view these cards necessarily as male or female, just as it could be a partner, it could be a family member, it could be a male. And so I will say, though, that it looks as though you have to make a decision, and it seems to me about your path or your future with a particular person, and whether there's going to be a future or if you're going to move on. That's what it looks like to me here, that there's some decision and somebody else is involved in this decision that you must make.
See, and I think that sort of correlates
it does,
with these
in a
a
way,
little bit,
it does. Well, with your interpretation.
With my interpretation more than yours. So it's interesting. For the record, for those who don't know, I don't really know the Lenormand, so I just go with the visual input that I feel from that. Which is kind of like what happens sometimes with the tarot with me too. That's why I get these glimmers, because it does tell me something maybe more specific, and I just feel like I have to say it, because if I try to analyze that, then I'm putting more of myself in it. I should just say what the raw feeling is. And so I get that with this too, that Banshee's more right than not here. It may involve, really having to have some distance from that person.
Well, or choices or decisions have to be made in relation to this. I think in order for you to get the freedom and liberation that you are seeking.
Well, at least we have a little more time for that tonight.
And that's what we have for you, Jessica. I hope that helped and was worth waiting for. And stick around. We might be able to do more with everybody if the list remains short like this. So,
You are welcome.
here is the list as it stands. There are only 2 names on it, and that is Wada Kid and Elaney.
Hey, watch
So,
it.
Wada Kid, if you have a question, we are ready for you.
We like making everyone smile if we can, and
You know, we don't always have good news, and I'm not going to sugarcoat bad news. I mean, I feel people need to know if there's an obstacle or a challenge that they need to face. And, you know, we'll try to work through it and give some advice if we can. But of course, we are not doctors, lawyers, or social, what do you call them, psychoanalysts, behavior therapists. So, you know, we're just tarot readers, and we're just going with what the cards tell us and what we intuit from the cards. I see Vicky's joined us. Hey, Vicky. You're
Hi,
on.
Vicky.
We're going to put you right on the list, and I tell you what, it's getting to be a shorter list. So,
do we have a career kind of reading?
is it a general career?
Possibly. That's what Wada Kitty says, career if
Let me see
possible.
if I have something. I've made a number of 3-card spreads, and I'll see if I have a nice career one.
Are you looking at management? Are you looking at being more of an administrator?
Well, are you looking for? It said.
Because I pulled the Emperor.
Oh,
I just fell out, so I just thought I should say that.
interesting.
So it sounds to me like if your studies or your background, your qualifications, you know, that's what you're looking for, that may be something that could happen. It fell to me.
Well, I think we're going to draw 3 cards because everything is very specific about
Okay, go ahead and
particular
shuffle.
work situations. So let's do that.
Now, Sassy,
See what
you
they
heard
bring.
Masonic. She said be good.
Oh my goodness, 2 cats here. It's getting scary. If the 3rd one comes up, I don't know what we'll do. I have a feeling a camera will get knocked over.
It's funny because there's sort of like a weird balance between being a little bit needy and being just really there for us. Sometimes they just really need to be around us, and sometimes they're just there because they know we need them to be around us. So it's kind of a nice synergy or synchronicity with them.
Whenever I'm doing my readings at the table here, they almost always surround me. Almost all 3 of them in some way. One might be on a chair. The other 2 will be on the table. It's crazy.
They're my little familiars.
So did you shuffle?
I did.
I
Okay, Wada
Well.
Kid, here we go.
cut. Okay, Wada Kid, we'll see what we have here.
3, right?
Yep.
That's what you said. Ooh,
Well, that's okay.
a decision, maybe. Alrighty.
Well, all right. We have the 2 of Swords upright.
That's too many cats, Wada Kid, for anyone.
We have Temperance reversed. So we have 2 major arcana in this reading, and they're both reversed. That's the Fool reversed. I'm going to let you lead this one.
Okay, well, do you think possibly some sort of path or choice for you is near? Like maybe you do have a decision to make, but you're just wondering that you need to know more. And like one of the things is that maybe you have some extremes about you. I'm just getting the feeling that you're still on the younger side, and that there's a question of how you want to settle down, and you like some things to be a little bit wild. I get the feeling like you're adventuresome and you like taking
see.
some risks.
Well, I see it, and it's very interesting because you did get the Fool reversed, and it seems like, you know, that's off to a kind of faulty start with things, and Temperance reversed is showing things just being a little bit out of balance right now, too. It might be that, you know, you need to work on something in order to get out of this, get out of the state of unemployment right now. You may have to possibly consider a new direction. The 2 of Swords here seems indicative to me of a stalemate right now. Like you're not really completely sure which direction you want to go. And so, or, that where you should go seeking employment. Maybe the question is, do you need to move or relocate for that? The Fool, reversed is indicating maybe being stuck in a rut where you are right now.
Well, for at my age, I sort of think that 44 is a bit younger than me, so you are young compared to me. That's about 20
Age
years.
is relative.
It's relative. But I didn't weigh in on the full reverse, and I sort of feel like if there are some choices for you, analyze those carefully, because I get the feeling like because you have that risk-taking nature that you might take something that, is risky and might not be what you want in the end. And I get the feeling like maybe, like you said, you feel that way, adventuresome, but you may find that there are some things you have to consider. Whether it's other people that still have some responsibilities to you or you do, that kind of thing.
Hey, Eleni, I just wanted to mention, don't go away because after this reading, you are next. So try to stick with us if you can.
I turned 64 last month.
Yeah, woohoo. And I am 62. We are the truth squad here. We have nothing to hide, And I would just say right now, as far as career and employment goes, it just, it really does seem to me that nothing is happening immediately right now. This is a time where you may have to work on some issues on yourself, to prepare yourself for going back out into the workforce. Right now, I would say I don't want to even say maybe 3 months, but it just doesn't seem like anything's happening immediately for you. I would check with us again, as the new year rolls.
Did you do the Lenormand?
I'm going to do that. I would say check with us again when the new year rolls around. But let me toss you a Lenormand. Okay, well, I hope you can catch your turn. If not, we have a slow list tonight, Eleni. You might be able to get back in, but we'll do our best to try to get your attention. It is a little scary, isn't it? I know. I was only unemployed once in my career. I've been employed a long time in different jobs, but it's a scary time. I know. And I was on unemployment for a while, and I was extremely close to it running out when something just happened to happen for me. So I got lucky. Well, the good news is, let's see, I got the bouquet, and I got the home. And so I'm thinking that somebody is going to gift you something or give you something that you're really going to appreciate right now. It could be coming from, family ties of some sort. I've got the home card there, and I'm just intuiting that with those two cards together. It could be something useful for the home or place that you live. But I have a feeling they're going to gift you with something, and it's either related to people related to you, or it's going to be related to your home environment.
Do you see that as more of an inheritance or something that's just given after somebody?
It doesn't have to be money per se. It's going to be a nice gift of some sort, something that you can really use or that you would really value and appreciate.
And I'm rubbing my face a lot here because the air's dry in here and these cats are shedding. And from petting her, I've got hair all over my face and it's making me itchy. There she goes again. She's scratching herself.
Well, we've got to brush some tonight, I think, and get some of that
brush
off.
them.
Cat maintenance. So that's what we have for you right now. I wish I had better news about employment, but we will be doing 2020 outlooks the week between Christmas and New Year's. So you might want to check with us then, and we might have more information for you. What a kid! All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And hey,
Hope that was
Eleni, are you here?
And I'll banter for a moment. So 300 years, eh? Well, I'm going to be joining the ranks of the whatever in about a year or so is when I probably plan on cutting myself from my career. I can do it probably in 6 months, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I just have so much cat hair on my face. I feel that's gross. And yet I'm compelled to want to pet her some more. Is that weird?
No, it's not
Why
weird.
do you do this to me?
But it is the season for dry skin, and the cats
Thank you,
get
Wada
it too.
Kid.
Thank you, Wada Kid. We really appreciate it. And join us,
Yes, thank
now
you for
you'll get
subscribing, too.
notifications of when we stream and when our videos come out, because we will be doing more videos.
And good luck with the career prospects.
Lady, I'm calling for you again.
Yeah, and they're at work when they do this, so we're not going to bust them, but,
We'll give her one more moment, and then we'll move on to Vicky, because after
we can always come back to Lainey
yeah,
if
we
they
could
show
put
up.
Lainey
Yeah.
down again since she's at work. I'm going to put her under Vicky, but just give it a minute, Vicky. Let me try one more
We
time.
could also ask her to run her question, too, and then we could just pick it right up
That's
after
true.
Vicky, and she could find that there.
She could pick it up on the live stream, on the video when it's released. Okay, going once, going twice. Come on, Eleni, just say you're here. Okay, we'll go on to Vicky. And Vicky, what's your question? And Eleni will come on after you.
So the cat got up and left.
A general for the next week. Absolutely. You want to use mine again?
Sure.
Well, Sassy left and you have space.
Yeah, so there we go.
And maybe the itching will stop.
I feel a little patina of cat hair on my face, and I just don't want to scratch at it or brush it off because I feel it'll just roam somewhere else, and then that spot will itch.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, so go ahead.
I am. Did I shuffle?
No.
Then I am.
Oh gosh, long day today. Man, I was working so hard that I was afraid I was going to be very unfocused tonight, but actually I guess it kept me in a focused frame of mind for this.
Do I cut too?
Yeah, because you shuffled last, I would cut.
Just trying to keep up with the chat too.
I know. Okay.
Normally it doesn't bother me a whole lot, but I think it's just drier in here lately, and they're shedding more. What have we got?
Well, there's movement going on here for you in some
it's a
way,
lot of movement,
Vicky.
actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first one's the Eight of Wands, which sort of represents moving.
And energy, just like you are a bundle of energy right now, or will be, if you don't feel it already.
And then there's the reversed Knight. Is that the Knight?
That's the Knight of Wands.
The Knight
It's
of
reversed.
Wands, and so that's saying that maybe the
Hey, we just
person-
had that card in the in the tarot for tomorrow.
Yeah, we had it in a reading. Yeah.
And what I've said about that is that, sometimes you can be moving so fast and furious that you kind of burn yourself out. So be careful about that. Also, it could be indicative of another person. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, it could be somebody that is a false friend, or somebody that presents as a false friend, somebody that just seems kind of phony to you, and you feel that they're just too driven to somehow use you with a scheme of saying, oh, well, this is going to help you too because I'll put in a good word with somebody for you, or blah, blah, blah kind of thing. So I just say, like, if instinct feels like they're a little bit glib, then they probably are for a reason. And then the final card is, so you're framed by the Eight of Cups reversed.
Which is more movement. But it's movement towards something maybe you're revisiting again. I don't know whether it's an old relationship, an old job, maybe some old friends you're going to be commiserating with again. But it seems as though you're moving back to something you've done before, almost like a deja vu.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's involving the person who you feel this little thing about, not wanting to trust them, because he's sort of framed by the two eights, and I'm thinking that there's some movement going on for you. You said the reading for the rest of the year or so.
No, the week.
The week.
Yeah.
And that maybe this is a person from your past who possibly is a corollary to you in age, or they might be a little younger than you, one or the other. I don't think they're older than you. And maybe your disposition is to trust what they're saying, but you might want to just feel that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking at this too. There's another way I could look at this. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have all of this energy going on, and it could be that something is rushing headlong towards you from your past. It's possible that something is going to be coming towards you from your past. I don't know. It's one or the other. Either you are moving towards it or it is going to come to you.
Something like that.
That's something like that.
Let's see if the Lenormand might clarify a little.
Yeah. Wands are enterprise often, or fire energy. You know, they're definitely fire-oriented cards. So that's a lot of...
Cups could cover the nostalgia of the past a little bit.
And the Eight of Cups in particular either means moving away from something or moving towards something. Good old Nightbot. All right.
The
lilies.
Woohoo.
And the Tower.
So, was that possibly an old boyfriend? Is that...
Well, possibly, but the Tower is sort of a card of an institution, or, you know, I don't know if you are having treatments for anything at this time, you know, from a hospital or healthcare provider. Everything should turn out okay, if so. This could also indicate some, well, I don't know. It could indicate maybe a possible passion for some business or institution or building. Maybe a passion for higher learning if you're in school right now.
Yeah, maybe that was wrong, because really whatever that is connected to something that's more in the present. It's not in the past. Maybe there's somebody you've met that you might be interested in. I don't remember what that is. Something pleasurable is the lilies, but it sort of has an element of sensuality to it. Maybe.
It does, and there's other things that could be reflected by it, because it can be kind of a card of fertility in some way. That, you know, it could also indicate issues, you know, of fertility or reproduction.
So is it
things
connected
like that.
to this reading? Does this connect to that reading?
You know, I'm having a hard time connecting these two cards to this reading, actually. This is the first time that's happened to me with the Lenormand, I have to say. So I would say that I think this is a time of, you know, and also the Tower is kind of gives you the feeling of isolation. This may, in fact, be a time where you are coming out of a period of isolation and kind of leaving your ivory tower. So in that regard, you know, your safe haven and making some moves, but it also might be revisiting something from your past, taking a chance on something from your past.
Well, maybe as you got to know them, or something about them reminds you of somebody from the past, is probably what I'm feeling with that. But that, yeah, it is something new, and maybe it's connected to where you're at now.
That's
just
all we have.
I have a little bit of a feeling of just check it out.
Well, and I would just say, yeah, I'm not sure if this is related to a relationship or something else, really, frankly, from my perspective. I just think it has something to do with some issue or thing from your past resurfacing, and you're going to actually move towards it, whether it has to do with a job, education, or a relationship.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not getting a real clear picture of a relationship like maybe you were.
Yeah, and it's fungible to me too.
Yeah. So it's a very nebulous reading, Vicki. So I think this next week is not going to be like super, you know...
You're welcome.
super exciting, but I will say you're going to have a lot of energy to burn. You're just going to feel very revitalized.
That seems to be one of the more important parts
yeah,
of it.
Yeah,
we
the
should
Eight of
mention
Wands.
that. A flurry of activity, which maybe could explain, bumping into things from the past and the present.
Yeah.
But let us know then, maybe.
Yeah, let us know if anything comes up. I'd be curious about that because it's interesting to me. So, hey, a lady.
Yeah, you stunned us.
Well,
okay,
two
and we
cards
have Warda
stumped
too.
us.
So Warda's on the list.
Oh, Warda?
Yeah, Warda's here
Well,
with us.
okay, Warda, I'm putting you after Eleni. We're checking to see if she is here.
Okay.
And if she is not here, Warda, actually you will be next. But hold your question. So we'll just try one more time for Eleni.
Yeah, paging Eleni one more time. Or again.
We still have, under an hour, but we still have the better part of an hour left.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to fit everybody in, no problem. Eleni.
I have a feeling that they're probably busy at the moment, so
I think so.
we should just go ahead
so
with
Warda. Hey, how about we go ahead and take your question? You are next, Warda. And welcome back.
Welcome back. And if you have a question, just go ahead and type that in, or if it's a general, let us know that.
I know you're probably not used to us getting right to you this time, but it's been kind of a quieter night, so you're in luck tonight.
Yeah, we're not sure. The energies seem to, maybe everybody's doing something else. Is there a football game on?
Not on, well, I don't
No,
I
wouldn't
think so.
even
Not
know.
on
I wouldn't even
Thursday.
know. Should we switch to my cards?
Huh? Oh, yeah, let's use yours. Hey, Warda, do you have a question? Uh-oh. I lost my... Oh, there we go. Huh. I wasn't even seeing all of the chat for some reason. It wasn't coming up on my... wasn't moving on my tablet.
Okay, that's the question. Do you see
Is
that?
it me and Leo Guy will still work out? Okay, that's a good question, and we'll do a yes/no for that with some Lenormand. Wow. Sonny is in sleep mode.
Tired himself out.
All right. Let's see what we've got for Warda today. That was fast. I'll get these going. What's up?
Huh.
It's not all bad. Well,
It isn't, it isn't.
it
in a
isn't.
way.
It isn't. Yet another ambiguous reading here, but it is leaning towards no.
Or
but
it seems to be.
Seems to be. There's the Ace of Pentacles up reversed. There's the Nine of Swords, but it too is reversed, which is the better way to get the Nine of Swords. And then the Four of Wands upright.
And so there's something ambiguous about this reading in a way, because the Four of Wands almost literally means the possibility of a wedding or some sort of union celebration. Whereas the Nine of Swords, I think we slightly differ on this. Sometimes I still sort of feel there's some sadness connected with that card. Do you
I
want to
feel
say?
that it's a healing card. I feel that when it is reversed, it's somebody is healing from some major trauma or sorrow. and time heals those wounds. So what this might be saying is that, it's leaning towards no at this time, but time, if time could heal, the wounds or the things, if there's been like a breakup or if you guys are not close for whatever reasons, in time, there is the potential that something could lead to a union of some sort.
Yeah, it seems to me like maybe there's a possibility that this would not be a person who would not want this idea at all, but that maybe the healing is on their part too. Maybe they're having some issues, previous relationships or other responsibilities or things that they feel indebted to or obliged to.
Yeah, there's some, I think, emotional burden here of some sort. That and still, and like I said, the Nine of Swords is like not a card of immediate healing, but like that it is a process. And so that's why I thought of the time factor being involved here. And because the Four of Wands is just such a positive card, even though the cards are leaning towards no, I can't say that it is a definite no. Okay. So the card I drew, and this card came up before for people tonight, is the Path card. And I also got in the Lenormand the Rider card. And it seems as though some news word is going to come to you. And I don't think this is going to be very far off. You're going to get some news about a decision, or will help you make a decision or a choice that you're going to need to make. This is like, deciding maybe the path with the Leo or without the Leo. So I think some news that you get will help you make a decision that will be important with where this relationship is going to go.
Yeah, that's all I see too. I mean, it's sort of up in the middle. The reading to me is really more like 50%. It's not really slanted towards no so much as just ambiguously right in the middle. And then these properties of the Lenormand card say that something would possibly lead you to a new path. Maybe it would be a path away, or maybe it would be a path together, or some other path altogether.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we have for you right now. And I'll tell you what, let's see. Let's try to call for Eleni one more time and see if Eleni is back. Well, that's okay, Smiling Soul. We're still we're waiting on one more person, Eleni, and then we are going to do something. If our audience is still here and interested, we're going to do a little tarot together exercise. But you're welcome, Warda, and keep us posted.
Thank you.
And Eleni, we're giving you one more shot. And if you're not here, we're going to move on with our little exercise. Well, I think Eleni got really busy again. I feel bad because didn't we miss her on...
We missed her one time, and
then
another
last
time
Sunday,
she did show up.
I think. Or did we get her last Sunday? I think she missed last Sunday. So
you're welcome. Come again.
Well, Eleni is not responding. So here's how I think we should do it. The first person who says they want a reading through Tarot Together, right now I want a reading. Come on, don't be shy.
Show us some love.
Aha! Smiling so up. You missed it, Masonic, but we'll keep you in mind for that. All right.
Well, we can employ Masonic anyway.
Yes. You will be a part of this. So, Smiling, we're going to try this with you. What is your question, Smiling Soul? That's not a question. Those are hearts, but we appreciate it. Oh, they look bigger on your screen. Okay, Smiling Soul, type the question. And we're going to ask a favor of a volunteer. Oh. And if they got them?
So we're asking about the baskets and whether the recipients
What
had
they
any
thought.
particular thoughts about them.
Yeah. All right, so we're shuffling the cards, and we're going to need our audience to help us a little bit with this reading. And I know you are here, Masonic, so we're going to call on you first. Between, what would you say, 2 and 4 or 2 and 5?
2 and 4.
Between the number 2 and 4, Masonic, how many piles should we cut the cards for Smiling Soul's reading? Did you shuffle yet?
I did. Okay. So we need Masonic to give us a number between 2 and 4 that represents the amount of piles we're going to cut it in. Okay, 3.
Is Masonic still here?
No, we got the answer.
Oh, 3. Yep. Excellent. Thank you, Masonic.
Thank you. Okay, let's move those into the camera view.
Okay, so now, let's see. Who else is here?
Is there anyone else here besides Masonic and Smiling Soul?
Yeah, is anybody else here besides Masonic and Smiling Soul that wants to volunteer to help us with this reading?
Looks like not, because we have a different count now, so.
Okay.
Let's improvise. How shall we do this?
Okay, well, let's ask Masonic again. Okay, Masonic, which of the 3 piles should we read from? This is 1, 2, or 3?
3 is the one that's closest to Banshee. 1's the one that's closest to me. Yes, we did play this before, and it was a lot of fun.
Well,
Thank you.
It takes a little time for people to respond back and forth. So if we have a lot of people we're reading for, it makes it hard to do it. Like if we maybe did a special live stream sometime where we were just doing this might be okay.
So how about if we do it this way? Why don't we pull 2 cards, and what are you
No, go ahead. What did you?
I was going to say either we could decide to pull from the top or the bottom, or we could decide to let Smiling Soul tell us what
I was just going to say that I think Smiling Soul should say, well, which cards do you want us to pull from, the top or the bottom of the deck, Smiling Soul?
And we're going to pull 3, right?
Yeah. Do you want the top of the deck or the bottom? Your choice, Smiling Soul.
We'll try to pick the best we can.
Well, Smiling Soul, do you want the top or the bottom?
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Okay.
I'm going to let you pick.
I want the bottom because it's different.
Okay. Wow.
Ooh.
Well, you know.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah. You know, sometimes people don't value things. Sometimes people I think this is really interesting. It's the Tower reversed, and oftentimes people don't learn the lessons they need to learn when this card comes up. So I don't know how this applies. Maybe you understand how this applies to the situation. Okay.
Because I'm going to combine it with the second card at least.
Go ahead.
The Page of Swords, which is about tact and diplomacy. And I'm going to say this is somebody that doesn't understand that. That maybe there are people who don't understand at least being good-natured about things, resulting in basically some bad feelings.
Yeah. You got the death card. You got the death card reversed here, and that means that it kind of went nowhere, you know, is what it sounds like to me.
Sadly.
Sadly, like they were just kind of, you know, you know, some people, they just don't know how to appreciate a good thing, I guess. It's really interesting at this time of year. I love presents.
Right, yeah. Well,
it's almost as if there's a lot of ambivalence about this, or just downright, I don't know, annoyance.
Poor Florida.
Oh, Florida. Well, yeah, I'm not going to go there, but I will say that, there's stupid people everywhere. And no state holds, holds the most of that because I think there's plenty to go around. So, but that's interesting, these cards that came up for you, Smiling Soul. I like what you said about the Page of Swords, too. I think that's very appropriate. Yeah, so I'm going to pull some Lenormand. I want the Lenormand on this. And this one I'm just going to pull because I always take from the top or bottom. It just makes sense to do that. Mostly all in Florida, sorry. Okay, well, I'll let you say that then. Oh my gosh.
A child?
Yeah, well, this is interesting, Smiling Soul, because you got the bouquet and you got the child. And so, I'm thinking again, so in relation to your question, what this means is well, they might have thought on some level that it was thoughtful, but they didn't think it was all that. Or they just, weren't impressed. Maybe they're snobs, who don't appreciate, little things that people do. It might be something like that. That's what I look at here because a child means something small. So like small appreciation.
They behave childishly.
Well, okay, he could say that. That could be true. But like I said, it's very small appreciation. That's what we had. So that's kind of how Tarot Together works.
Let's
get people.
try one for Masonic.
Masonic, do you want one? And maybe Smiling Soul can help us with yours.
That's a boy. That's a boy. That's a boy.
No, because that's a boy is taking up all my space.
Did you want me to shuffle yours? All right.
Hey, Masonic.
We think you're still with us.
Do you want another reading, Masonic? You're welcome, Smiling Soul. It's not a problem. All right.
Okay, ask a question, and then we'll get Smiling Soul to help us.
I'll let you make the decisions on this one. Oh, we're glad we had a chance to do this tonight.
And maybe Eleni will pop back in.
Yeah. Poor Eleni. She's just in and out, but I get it.
Is one of your friends lying?
Ooh, that's a yes-no. Now, well, we could do the other
We
yes.
could do it differently. What's the other yes-no?
Isn't there one with upright and reversed cards?
It's one I vaguely know. I can't quite remember. We could just try to intuit the yes or no from
the cards.
Well,
the yes or no is basically if you get two upright cards, it's like the two aces.
You don't have to help me with that.
I will.
Okay.
I will. I can do it.
Okay.
And then we can give a little more information on the reading, too.
Okay, is one of the friends lying? Okay, that's a good question.
I'm moving the cat. Sorry, Sonny.
So for this card reading, we're going to ask Smiling Soul, how many times should we cut Masonic's deck for her reading? And I'm going to say, we're going to say 1 to 5 this time. 2 to 5.
2 to 5.
2 to 5. So you will tell us, Smiling Soul, how many times we should cut the cards for Masonic's reading.
Four. Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you for that.
Right there.
Okay. Who do we ask?
Well, this time I'm going to ask Masonic to pick the pile. The one closest to Mr. O is 1, and then 2, 3, and 4 is closest to me. And then we'll have Smiling Soul help with something else.
So Masonic is going to tell us which pile we're working from. 1 closest to me, or 2, 3, 4 closest to her.
Number 1.
All right,
Okay.
So you can pull the others away.
I am. And now, Smiling Soul, Do you want us to just take the cards from the top or the bottom of the deck?
We heard you the first time, Masonic.
Yeah, we've got it, Masonic. We took pile number 1.
Yeah, you keep repeating. So, Smiling Soul, we want to know if we should take from the top or the bottom. The top, okay.
All right.
And we're just going to deal...
Do 3 cards.
Alrighty, here we go then. Let me move our cam back into shape. 1, 2, and thank you for your help. And we have...
Yeah, go ahead.
The five of coins? Or is that 6?
What does it say on the bottom?
It's 5.
Yeah, okay.
We have the 5 of coins. Let's turn it that way.
Also because it's the church window, yeah.
We have the 2 of swords reversed.
5.
And we have the High Priestess reversed. Which in some ways, imagery sort of reminds me of that one a little bit. That's
so it
kind of
sounds
interesting.
like you know, it sounds like they're not lying. We're getting a leaning towards no on this. But there is something going on. I'm not sure what it is. It's as if...
They are not willing to tell you something.
Yeah, because the High Priestess is reversed, like something's hidden. They
sort of feel like they want to keep it secret, but at the same time, they're usually known for not keeping too much a secret between you and them in a relationship, or they're just not acting in character to you the way you know them to. And then maybe the other thing too is that you feel maybe they have an outside influence that's, you know, nudging them to be bad or causing them to consider different actions.
Yeah,
Do I think it's male or female?
Oh.
I think it's possibly female.
It's leaning towards female because the High Priestess here, I think, the energy of the High Priestess. But whatever it is, it seems as though there is something being hidden from you that you need to explore more. And I don't know if this is related to money, education.
It's not a lie per se. It's sort of like they're thinking they should just not tell you. So it's a lie of omission possibly. Or maybe they're feeling it's something that would damage you if they told you that they don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to freak you out in some way. Do you see that maybe?
I do.
Okay.
I do see that as possible.
Do you want to pull a Lenormand?
I'm going to pull Lenormand on that and see what we get.
And you know, when you're dealing with a person who knows somebody else and you're trying to figure out what that somebody else does, it is a little bit harder. Like I can only kind of relate human emotions or protocols through the ones that I'm used to. If people know really way out bizarre people that react differently, I might not be able to capture that. I don't know.
Why does that card keep coming
You're welcome.
up? Well, I have the Path card, which has come up a number of times today. And again, Smiling Soul's favorite card,
The Sun.
the Sun card. I'm just saying that, Smiling Soul.
So you're finding your path somehow, or you're finding where all of this leads to.
You know, right. You may in the end be led to the truth is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But it's but it seems as though right now some things and facts are being hidden from you. But I have a feeling because the Sun is here, things are going to get revealed.
And I get the feeling like if it is this person that you're thinking it is, maybe that they're going to have a change of heart at some point, maybe not right away, but maybe shortly after the new year, and that maybe they'll decide that they have to help you understand what really happens or what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. That's what we have.
All right.
Wow, we got all kinds of time left. We got a half hour left. And Eleni, where did you go? I take it she probably had to really get off the grid, but she said she was watching us from work and would keep up if she could, but apparently she's not going to get a reading today. So did you enjoy that, guys? What do you think of that that kind of activity? Uh-oh.
We've been asked to do. You're welcome. We've been asked to do something live in a nearby town for a monthly event they have. They want us to lead a class or lead a session, and we were wondering if maybe this would be the kind of thing that we could actually do in front of people. It might actually have a different kind of rhythm or cadence because everybody's there. They're sort of a captured audience, so getting a volunteer would probably work easier. And the feedback would be quicker than, this medium here where we have to wait for the online to come through. But we were thinking about doing, they normally have a showing of 30 or 40 people, which actually gets pretty large then.
Well, and as things wind down, certain things, it's so busy around the holidays and stuff, but maybe in the year ahead, we can every so often do, maybe it's once a month, I'm not sure, we'll maybe do an extra live stream where we just do it this way, tarot together, and we invite people to do that, but it would just be devoted to that.
And I think it's a really unique concept because I think it really plays to the heart of what tarot cards are about, which is that people say, oh, the skeptical person's, how can you always find the right card? There's so many cards, 78, whatever, they could be this way, that way. But the thing is that somehow tarot is a part of your unconscious, and your unconscious knows it even if you don't know it. And that's so your unconscious just somehow makes the cards fall where they need to be. And so that's the same principle with tarot together, is that when we tell whoever that our intent is to do that, the cards just go where they're going to need to go. And we can't really explain it better than that, or else we're just the most gifted BSers in the world. So maybe there's a little bit of that. I don't know.
Well, it was really interesting that you say that, because I was having I was tweeting with somebody on Twitter that was talking about this very thing. And maybe, and actually it might have been the article by Devin Hunter that I'm referring to. But basically, imagination plays a role with intuition, because basically when you see the cards...
Elaine's here. Let's grab her now.
Eleni,
Tell us your reading.
You're up right now. I'm glad you finally came back because...
Give us a question.
Yeah, what is your question? So even if you have to go, we can put it on, it'll be on the video later.
It'll be on the YouTube and you can watch it. Oh my God.
Well, it was a slow night, Eleni, and we've actually been playing tarot together while you were away. But we're going to do a reading for you now in the normal style just to get you in tonight.
All right.
All right. So like I said, if you have to go away, you know that it's in the last half hour of our video once this is on YouTube
about
as
us
a video.
Being a couple.
Okay.
You're welcome. We're working on it.
Sonny, you do not make my life easy here.
So I got a kick out of Watakid saying I looked 25. I think he
What?
was
Did he
referring
say
to
that?
me. He said, you look 25. I think he was referring to me.
Wait a minute. I'm wearing the crown here.
We did miss you, Elaine. We were wondering, you must have got off the grid totally.
We called for you at least 3 to 4 times. We tried. Okay.
So how does David feel about you two being a couple?
Let's do 3 and see what we have.
Okay, we have strength reversed. So he's uncertain, I think, in a way. He's sort of wrestling with it. I'll get back to that in a moment. We have the Queen of Cups reversed, which to me may indicate that maybe you're more hopeful than they are, and that maybe you want to analyze whether you're just putting hope before reality. It just sort of suggests that. It doesn't say that's really the truth. And then we have Judgment upright, which sort of suggests an interest in spiritual matters or matters that are beyond the material world.
Well, I don't know. I look at Judgment as an interesting card. I look at it a little different maybe than Mr. O. I look at the karma angle of Judgment, and I just kind of feel like maybe there is some karmic thing going on with this relationship, but is it?
He was just looking at you so cute, but now he's not, so we'll put it back.
Okay, but is it, is does it mean there's going to be a relationship or that it's fated not to be? In other words, I feel karma is going to play a role here in some way with one or both of you. And I liked what you said about the cups. Maybe he feels overwhelmed by what he's getting off of you. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe he thinks maybe you're over attached to him, or maybe you are a little bit over attached, considering that he may be grappling with it right now.
Right, he's grappling because he still hasn't really decided how he feels emotionally about the relationship. I think he feels strongly about it, but he hasn't really decided that. That's maybe a little bit sketchy. I don't know.
So if he seems distant, it might be because he doesn't want you to get over attached at this time because of that.
Yeah, that's what I think clarifies that there. So let's pull the Lenormand and see what they say. Tarot for cats.
Oh, yeah, well, he should be getting a lot of lessons from us, really. I was talking earlier about the white elephant where I got the silly Christmas shirt that I held up earlier to show everybody. The thing is that what I gave away for the white elephant, the silly thing I gave away, was a little tiny book called Feng Shui or Shui for cats, like feng shui, but it's Feng Shui for cats. And it's little cat wisdom about, how you should live your life and arrange your home or whatever. And I gave that away in the white elephant today, and people laughed when they saw that.
Okay, what you got?
I have...
The roses?
Well, no. I have the mice, which we don't like to see the mice. And then I have the clover, which is luck. And what this is telling me is that something is, remember I was talking about the karma element with the reading here. It's just as if something is eating away at good fortune or luck or fate. So there is something that is kind of keeping a distance maybe between the two of you.
And I have a bad memory sometimes, but if I recall right, he's the Scorpio and you're the Leo. And I think so that if that's
Is
true,
that right?
That explains what's going on with the strength reverses. Like I know this is a Scorpio guy. We just tend to internalize things and nobody might guess it on the surface, but we're thinking about that stuff in the end. We're always right.
We're always right. Jeez.
We don't like always being right. It's not fun always
actually,
being right.
Yeah, sometimes it's not. But yeah, I'd rather be right than tell you the wrong thing. Although, if it's bad news and it turns out great, well, all the better. What a pessimist would say is just always look at the dark side of things. So when the bright side happens, it feels like you won the lottery or something. So don't give up.
I think it's a matter of time.
Well,
mostly.
I don't know. Don't give up hope, but I would say is like kind of back off a little bit and let David maybe make the next move.
See, I'm with you, Masonic, a little bit. I don't think of the mice as totally being a bad thing because I sort of think of mice as being hoarders, and so they know how to hold on to things. And so when I see the mice, I sort of feel that a little bit too, depending on what the other card is that maybe they're able to glean something that is important to hold on to. In this case, it might be the luck. Yeah. Oh, well.
Well, you know what? If I did, well, all right, there might be something to what he's saying.
But I don't read Lenormand.
Well, the thing with the Lenormand is it depends how the cards come together. So basically, I pulled the clover first and then the mice second. So what it's basically is this card
Modifies that one.
modifies this one. And so when you have good luck, and then you have the mice, which are kind of a card of illness or nibbling away at things, pulling apart things. That's the way I look at it. So something's eating away at the good luck or fortune or fate. If it had gone the other way, I might have said things differently. So that's kind of how the Lenormand works a little bit in pairs or in, you can have 3 cards together. Sometime in the year ahead when we're offering readings for cost, one of the things that I'm going to offer is the Grand Tableau of the Lenormand. And I will be reading that for people at a discount this year. It will definitely be discounted from what I would normally charge because I'm just getting used to reading them. So in the big fashion like that.
Okay, I looked at the last thing you wrote. I don't know what to do, to be honest, and decided to pull a card. And I pulled the reversed 8 of Swords. And I think that card tells me that what you have to do is you have to try to be brave and just step forward, possibly away or from David at the moment. Not like saying I'm separating, but just saying, well, there are these things that I do need to do, and I'm going to do them on some form, not like date another person or something like that, but just basically saying, I can live a life without you if I have to, or I can do things that move in my own direction. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Well, I think I know what he's trying to say is try to live your life, without David being the focus right now. In other words, move on with other aspects of your life and move on with other things that are important to you right now. And, if David's meant to be, David's meant to be.
And because it was the 8 of Swords reversed, that also says, too, that if you feel or if David makes you feel that you're containing yourself, then that's really part of the issue, too, is that you shouldn't be waiting on him that much. You should also have that sense of independence of your own, too.
It may be time to move on.
Maybe he needs to see that, yeah.
Yeah. Or, know that, you may have to make that choice to move on if nothing's going to happen.
You won't need to win a lottery to get one of our readings, Miss Sonic.
No, you will not. And like I said, it's going to be this
We have an easy installation payment plan. No, we don't.
Nothing is written in stone yet. We're actually going to be starting with donations first. But I will say, because the Lenormand one is such a more involved reading, that it will cost something more. There will be a set fee for that one. But I like I said, in the beginning, it's going to be bargain basement prices as far as a reading like this would go. And I'm not going to even estimate what that is yet. We'll have it all laid out for you in the new year. And remember, we will always be doing the shorter free readings on the live stream. We will not just be going to a pay-for system. So remember
Thank you,
that.
Eleni. Now, Eleni, if you're around for a few minutes, we did this with Masonic and with Smiling Soul.
Yeah.
Because we had time to do another question for them. So we're going to ask you if you want to participate with another random tarot together. All you have to do is just ask us a question, and then we'll get Masonic and Smiling Soul to help us with the question. And we got 15 more minutes, so let's just try and do it if you're up for it. Because this helps us hone our skills a little bit, too.
Well, not only that, it's engaging for our audience as well.
We think it's fun.
We're going to play a role in your reading.
Okay, we got everybody's help so far?
Okay, so, Eleni, what is your question?
Go ahead and just ask us a question.
It can be based off of the other one or something new. Or if you just want a general reading. Okay, what should you expect?
Okay, so we're going to shuffle those cards while we think of that. And Masonic
moving forward,
may have dropped out, or is Masonic here with us?
I think he might. Well, we've got 5 showing, I think, in the chat, so he might be here. She might be here.
Smiling Soul's here for sure.
Yeah,
so
well,
we're going to say...
we'll start with Smiling Soul. You can shuffle.
How many times should we cut them? And what do you think the numbers should be, the range should be? Did you hear me?
The number of cups.
Well, we're asking Smiling Soul to determine
Okay, Smiling Soul. Let's do between.
And stay tuned, Masonic.
Let's do between 1 and 5, Smiling Soul. How
1
many?
and 5? 2 and 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to say 1 and 5. Because if you don't want us to cut it
She's
at
already
all.
given us the answer.
3. Okay.
Okay, now, Masonic, we're moving to you. And we're going to say, which of these piles should we draw our cards from for Elaine's reading? Should it be pile 1, which is closest to me, 2, or 3? No Masonics with us. We got your cut already, so
Yeah,
we're gonna...
we cut them into 3, Smiling Soul.
Wait, we're not at the bottom part yet. Hold on. You just need to tell us if we want 1, 2, or 3, Masonic. If you want card pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3.
One.
Draw
Okay.
the others away. Okay, now we'll ask Elaine if it should be top or
Yeah,
bottom.
Elaine, we're going to ask you, do you want us to draw cards from the top of the pile or the bottom of the pile for you?
This question is for Elaine. Should we
Top.
have the top? Okay,
Right.
very good. So we're going to
3
do...
cards.
And the question was, what can you expect from David?
Well, it's a mixed bag.
Don't know what's going on with the lag, but it's fun.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, what can you expect? You may, in fact, be lovers. It says that, or you have a decision about that to make, a question about that, a decision about that. But the Magician is reversed, and so that sort of indicates that maybe somebody doesn't feel that they're really in control here, or somebody doesn't feel
ready.
that they really have what it takes. But then you also have the Six of Cups, which says that a big part of the motivation or the feeling about this is that it makes you feel happy like you're a child. It reminds you of very pleasant things, things that felt better, whether they were childhood or not.
So basically, what should she expect in the relationship with David? Well, I think that things could keep on keeping on as they are. I don't, the thing is, to me, it seems like somebody or something is not ready to move forward. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're just not prepared. They don't feel ready in some way to take this to another
They're not able to direct
level.
the energy. They're not the magician.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying to figure out, have you known David a long time? Hope I got more. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the lag today. It's difficult.
There might be something with the lag, because I noticed a couple times with the software that some of the frames froze up. Well, I had an indication of that, so that
we don't
could
know
be what's
if it's
happening.
maybe YouTube or if it could be our computer.
We're definitely going to have to take donations to get a new computer, I think.
Yikes. Well, we are definitely
We've
getting
known
a
him
new
a couple
computer.
months, 2 to 3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, there's something about the past that plays into this, or memories from the past, or some fondness. It seems to me, like maybe that either one of you feels like they've, you remind them of somebody from their past. There's some connection with the past here. Yeah, like there's a very big comfort factor here. But
so it's sort of a sense of maybe that they're taking you for granted too, or that each of you are a little bit doing that, that because there's certain needs are met, certain comforts, certain comfortability.
Yet
that
it's
you sort
not
of feel
going
like
forward.
It's not going forward, thank you.
And
so.
and that's the main thing I'm seeing here between even the other reading we did for you. So that's why they almost connect in some way. But there's obviously a connection here. This reading shows me a little bit
It's
of
possible Elaine reminds David of their ex.
Oh, okay.
Well, that only works in shows like Dark Shadows.
Does everybody
Sorry,
remember what
joke.
he's talking about? Dark Shadows is a very old show.
A reluctant vampire who keeps thinking that every other woman he meets reminds him of his long-lost love.
Oh. Well, I got the fox.
Ah.
And I've got the star. And I'm not sure. These are I was stumped earlier with the Lenormand in a reading. I think that was with Vicky, and I feel almost stumped again a little bit. The fox is often about people you work with and stuff, but it can also mean cunningness or craftiness, cleverness. It can also mean sneakiness sometimes too, behind the back kind of stuff. But there's the star here, which is very hopeful and optimistic and kind of bespeaks of success. So I'm just gonna say, if you play your cards right, if you don't pressure David too much, it may be in time he'll come around. But again, this is if you really want to wait for it. If you really feel like things are not moving the way you feel they should by now, then maybe it's time to cut and run.
Okay, Lainey, Scorpio guy here
Uh-oh.
knows Leo people a little bit. Okay, Scorpio guy, maybe they're just a little bit sneaky because that's the Scorpio thing. They just don't really want to say it, but they probably do feel it because it feels inspirational. But the thing is that the pacing between a Scorpio and a Leo probably is what's really the problem here. Leos are probably more in the moment. They just are. I've known a few Leos, and they're definitely more in the moment. Scorpios take years to decide if they're having coffee or tea. I mean, seriously, sometimes Scorpios just really overthink everything. And I think that could be a big thing about what this is telling me, is that maybe he just wants more time. And of course, you have to figure out how to resolve that, because I don't think he should win in this regard. I don't think he should keep you, in a holding pattern forever either. So you're going to have to kind of figure that out.
Hi, Jakari.
Hi, Jakari.
We might just have enough time to fit you in. And as a matter of fact, you would be up next.
So, Eleni, that was an example of
Good
tarot
luck.
together, and that was like getting the community. So we thank you, Smiling
Yes,
Soul.
thank
we
you,
thank
everybody,
you,
for
Masonic, helping us
participating.
out. And we're going to try that again sometime. But now we're going to move on to Jakari, because we think we got just enough time to do one more reading for Jakari.
And that's going to be it. So what's your question today, Jakari?
We're going to use mine.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a really good question. Okay.
That is a good question. Thank you,
Yeah,
Eleni.
thank you, Eleni. We're just going to keep on rolling, Join us Sunday for more fun. It'll be right after winter solstice, and we have some stuff planned.
I thought AM was an abbreviation for Almighty. I'll take amazing. Okay, so why aren't spirits letting my clairvoyant abilities away?
We're going to throw 3 on that, and let's see what they say. Somebody's asking me a similar question, too. I'm going to be getting back to.
The best information about sigils that I've seen were in books, so you might want to go to a library and see if they have books on sigils. If you live near and have borrowing privileges at a good city-sized library, they might have a section that would have some books about sigils. But even if they don't, most good library systems, public library systems, even a small town, have a system where they can interlibrary loan from another library. You just have to get maybe a librarian's help or do the searching yourself to find a book. If I can think of some titles, I'll mention them to Madam Banshee, and she'll put them on the Twitter for you. All right, we're back to Jakari's question again.
Yep.
Are spirits inhibiting the clairvoyant
Now,
abilities?
why aren't spirits letting clairvoyant ability awaken?
Oh.
Wow, you have
The Ten of Wands reversed. The Juggler, which is the Magician. And Judgment reversed. And
Do you want me to go?
Did you want to say?
Yeah,
Go
you.
ahead.
I do.
Oh, me.
No, I want to say.
Go ahead, because I'm raring to go too.
Okay. Well, to me, the Ten of Wands reversed is indicating that maybe spirits feel you need to release some burdens or some things that, there are some things that maybe are burdening your soul right now so that it cannot open up at this time. They're throwing it back on you a little bit here, I think. But on the other hand, you have the Magician upright. And the Magician upright is indicating to me that you feel you are ready. You feel you are ready to move forward and that you have everything in place. But then you have Judgment reversed, and Judgment, what are you doing?
I just put my hands up.
Did you show that one?
No.
Okay.
I did earlier.
Judgment reversed is showing that you maybe still have some karmic lessons to work out here before you're able to proceed forward and open up. There's something burdening you right now that has to be released, I think, before it can happen. That's how I feel about it.
Now, I see that the other two cards are framing the Magician in the middle, the Juggler. And so what I am seeing here is that it's similar to what Banshee saw. Spirit feels you need to give up something. Like maybe there's a karma there. You need to resolve a karma. You need to understand a karma. There's something holding you back that's imprinted in your aura somehow, and maybe spirits can help you realize that through meditation. I also feel too that this Judgment reverse seems to indicate that somebody in the spirit world, something, some spirit, whether it's earthbound or an angelic force, sort of feels you need to have a higher vibration of some sort, that like maybe they feel you need to even find more ways to bring yourself up spiritually too. And so of course that could mean living a more righteous life, but that's for you to decide. I'm not here to judge you, but I do feel that there is somehow some sense of karma and a burden, and that meditation or appeal to the spirits might help with that. And we saw Tanya here, and we're not sure we're going to have enough time because we're right up to the clock, Tanya.
Oh, hey, Tana. Yeah, we're done for the night after this. We've got to work tomorrow, unfortunately. But thank you for joining us. I'm sorry you didn't make it earlier. We had a very quiet night tonight. We could have fit you in earlier.
The tree.
And the Gardener Park. And I had a distinct message come to me, Jakari, when I saw this. It's a little bit different than I would normally read these cards, but I'm trying to relate it to your question. And so what I see here with the tree and this together is, I feel that something is going to come through to you, and it's going to come through to you from an ancestral spirit, like family tree. It may be somebody, who might help guide you and give you messages to help others. That's sort of what I'm seeing here.
I think Banshee's right. I think this is what's happening here, is that I don't necessarily know that maybe there's a karmic or spiritual burden that's from back a generation, but I think that's a possibility, maybe more than one generation. So I think that the meditation that I mentioned earlier, thank you, Tanya. We hope to see you again.
Yep.
But I do think, Jakari, that meditation thing that I mentioned earlier, and Smiling Soul agrees perhaps, is important here. That there are some questions or answers you need to figure out, that there maybe is something going on in the generations back from you. Maybe there are other people who are clairvoyant, and maybe there's something attached to that gift because it's coming through somebody else in your bloodline, something like that. I'm sorry, I can't be a little more clear, but I do know there is something there.
Well,
and meditation and prayer will probably help.
Maybe think about what ancestor might be trying to contact you. It may be maybe somebody from, who's passed on recently, even, that you could think of that might be an ally in the spirit realm for you. But I sense they're the ones that could help open a door for you and make it happen. That's what I'm getting.
Alrighty.
And that's all for tonight, I guess. We are
That's
finished.
really all. So we appreciated everything.
Do you want to mention
did.
again about Sunday or anything?
I'm going to mention about Sunday. On Sunday, we're going to do our special Yule Christmassy holiday presentation. There'll be a little bit of a candlelight in the beginning, and maybe somebody's going to say a song or a prayer or a poem or something like that.
Poem, yeah.
So just reminding you of that. So we will be back on Sunday from 2 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. We love everybody for being here. Thank you so much. We're giving credit once again to all of those that helped. And we want to thank everybody that helped us tonight in Tarot Together.
Yes,
Masonic
it was a
Elite,
lot of
Smiling
fun.
Soul, and Eleni. So thank you so much for that.
We're glad we had time to do that with you, and we hope to maybe do it again sometime. So thanks, everybody, and we will see you Sunday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.